So today I'm really excited to share with you some women's fiction books that are perfect beach reads. So these are books you're going to want to add to your beach bag. These are books you're going to want to read at the pool, whether you actually go to the beach, that would be great. Or even if you're cozying up in bed, lounging on the couch, or hanging out in your backyard, or maybe a local park somewhere. Either way, these books are a grand time. So I'm sharing two books with you today. And the first one on my list is The Memo. And this is by Rachel Dodds and Lauren Meekling. Now, this is a really funny story, but it's also thought-provoking at the same time. And we meet this woman called Jenny. She's in her mid-30s. She's living in Pittsburgh, and she kind of feels like her life has fallen short in comparison to like her friends that she went to school with. Now, I felt like that was an incredibly relatable kind of thing. Now, I felt that was incredibly relatable because sometimes you really can't help but think and look back and compare yourself to like people you grew up with, people you went to school with, people you maybe used to work with, and looking at your life and feeling like you don't match up. So that's exactly what's happening in The Memo when we meet Jenny. Now, she has her college reunion coming up. She's kind of reluctant to go, but her friends are like encouraging her, come on, girl, you need to go to this reunion. Now, while she's there, she meets a school counselor who she meets the school counselor while at the reunion. And essentially the counselor says to her, hey, I have something to give you. I was going to give this to you when you were getting ready to leave college, but you never came to the college meeting or whatever. But she's finally giving her the memo. You know how folks say, like, you didn't get the memo? Well, this girl didn't get the memo. And now she's realizing, oh my gosh, is this the reason why my life has, kind of turned out the way it has in comparison to like my peers? Because clearly they got the memo. Now, by receiving the memo, it gives her an opportunity to revisit those moments in her life. And now she has the guidance on what to do to change, to redo her life and kind of make herself like this superwoman now. So we see this novel just kind of really tackle friendship, ambition, work, even love, because she's kind of a bit, before getting the memo, kind of failing in that department. But what I really liked about this one is that it really looks at modern challenges that we face in general, but also particularly what women are facing. And sometimes, this illusion of perfection and kind of having it all together, I mean, it's kind of, not real, essentially. So we see Jenny kind of having to, just figure it all out as she kind of goes back into her past and trying to, fix things in kind of like a quest to have like the perfect life. And we also see a bit of social media kind of playing in here as well. And I think, again, that's something that's incredibly relatable. So if you had a chance to go back and change things, what would you change? And how would it, improve your life in your mind? I'd love to hear from you. So feel free to share it in the comments. I can say wholeheartedly, I wouldn't change a thing because then I would not end up here. So I'll take the good, the bad, and the really ugly. But anyways, give The Memo by Rachel Dodds and Lauren Meekling a read. And you can ask yourself, what would you do? But also, more importantly, you can get to see what our main character, Jenny, does. The second book on my list is, again, really fun, but also thought-provoking. We do some armchair traveling in this one as well. And the book I'm recommending is The Heirloom by Jessie Rosen. I love the cover. Beautiful cover. It screams summer, doesn't it? Anyway, in The Heirloom, we meet a marketing executive. Her name is Shay, and she's very superstitious. In particular, she's superstitious about engagement rings. But this superstition doesn't come out of nowhere, This is like a family thing, and her grandmother is very particular about this. She is like, don't accept an heirloom ring from anyone because they believe that the ring carries the karma of the previous owners. Now, it's kind of different if you get like a family ring and, you know the family and, the marriage and, the history and the fact, that they have a happy loving life, then that's fine. But when you get like this random ring and you have no idea who this ring is from, you don't know the history, that's a bit of a problem. So that's kind of like the superstition around it. Anyway, Shay's boyfriend knows this, right? His name is John, and he proposes with an heirloom ring. I mean, tell me, what is wrong with this man? But anyway, he proposes with this vintage ring he just bought at this jewelry shop, right? There is no knowledge, or they have nothing on the background of the previous owner. Shay, though reluctant, accepts it, but she doesn't put it on her ring. She puts it on like a necklace around her neck. And in the meantime, she's going on this journey to kind of like discover, who does this ring belong to? Who are these people? What's the story behind the ring? To kind of, uncover its story so she can know whether or not to accept this, how to proceed, just the whole 9 yards. So we see Shay go on this journey. She's joined by this journalist, right? You'll read the novel and find out how they're connected. She also goes along with her sister. So we see them leave LA, we see them go to New York, we see them end up in Italy, we even see them going to Portugal as well. So needless to say, you're going to get like the armchair travel in this story. But also there's lots of depth, right? Because we see Shay really having to confront her own, I guess you could say, personal baggage and feelings, why she has this distrust, how her parents' relationship shaped hers. We also see how her fiance's background also shapes him and kind of like the decision he's making. But anyway, in this book, you're going to get the armchair travel, you're going to get the romance, you're going to get the adventure. We're going to see the effects of, just family history, family trauma. I mean, there's also the superstition in there as well. And also a big theme is female independence, and I was really here for it. So if you're looking to have some fun, do some armchair traveling, pick up The Heirloom by Jessie Rosen. Alrighty, so I just shared with you 2 women's fiction beach reads, right, that I think are perfect. But I also have 4 more books on my list of women's fiction reads that make perfect beach reading material. So these are books you're going to want to throw in your beach bag and, again, cozy up with on the couch, at the pool, in the backyard, at the park, just anywhere you are reading this summer. So I'll include a link in the show notes so that you can get this list and add more books to your TBR. But I'd love to hear from you too. Share with us in the comments. Let's continue this conversation in the comments, and you share with us some of your favorite beach reads that are women fiction. These stories that center on women's stories that are just absolutely captivating. I'd love to hear about the books that you've been reading this year. But yeah, I just shared 2. I have the list with 6, but we want to add more books to our TBR because you just might share a book that I haven't read yet. And I'd love to add books to my reading list. Plus, other readers watching will also benefit from you sharing as well. So again, let's continue the conversation in the comments by sharing your recommendations. Also, let me know if you've read either of these books too. And don't forget, if you haven't already, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you're the first to know what's new, when I go live, and when new videos are uploaded. Thanks for watching.